The first Americans. Native Americans or American Indians. The first peoples in Americas lived there for thousands of years before European explorers arrived. Many of these peoples still live in North and South America today. The Arctic peoples included the Eskimos, Inuit, and the Aleut lived in the far northern parts of North America. The Carib, the Aztec, the Maya, the Inca, and other groups lived in the Caribbean, Mesoamerica, Mexico and Central America, and South America. Many other peoples lived in what are now Canada and the United States. These people are known as the Native Americans or American Indians. In Canada, they are also known as the First Nations. Early peoples of the Americas. The first peoples in the Americas probably traveled from Asia to what now is Alaska. Scientists believe this happened about 16,000 to 20,000 years ago. During this period, there may have been solid land where the Bering Strait now divides Asia and North America. By about 10,000 BC, these people had spread throughout North, Central, and South America. Some of the earliest North Americans hunted large animals, such as a mastodon, that are now extinct. Some of the tools used by these people, including spear points, were found near Cloves, New Mexico. The points date from about 9,000 BC. Other early peoples fished and gathered seeds and wild plants. Most had to roam from place to place in search of food. In time, people in what is now Mexico learned to plant and harvest corn. Over thousands of years, this skill spread north and east. Later on, beans, squash, and other plants were also grown as crops. Groups of farmers began to establish more permanent settlements close to their fields. Several great farming cultures, such as the Hohokam and the Mogollon, grew up in what is now the American Southwest. They dug irrigation channels to bring water to their crops. Beginning in about 100 AD, the Anasazi culture was established on the plateau where Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, and Utah now meet. The later Anasazi built great buildings on the sides of cliffs. They also made multi-story houses of a kind of sun-baked mud called adobe. East of the Mississippi River, several ancient cultures left behind monuments in the form of earth mounds. The Adna people of about 500 BC to 100 AD were hunters and gatherers who built earth mounds shaped like serpents. Beginning in about 200 BC, the Hopewell people were settled in villages in the Ohio River Valley where they raised corn, beans, and squash, and built large mounds. About 900 years later, the Mississippian people in the South and Midwest constructed enormous earthworks where they buried the dead and probably performed ceremonies.